Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome to Acres of Diamonds Financial Services. I'm Brother Bernard, a business strategist and success coach. I put together a four-part tax strategy video series. This is part one, how to lower your taxes legally and survive an audit. Part two is tax strategies for working two jobs. For those who have to work a second job to make up for the income you losing because of the first job. Then tax strategies for single parents and tax strategies for spouses living together. Because sometimes some spouses think that they come out better by filing separately as opposed to filing together. Well, I'm going to show you a tax strategy that's going to work for both of you. So, video one, how to lower your taxes legally and survive an audit. So ask yourself these questions. Are you prepared in case of an audit? If the IRS decides to knock on your door, send your email, send your letter, whatever they do, and say we want to audit you for the last 4 years or 4 years ago, do you have the proper documentations? Are your records in order where you can protect and defend yourself in the audit? Then question two, are you getting the most out of your tax preparation services? Are those who are doing your taxes, are they giving you the best possible service and strategies available to you to lower your tax liability? And then question three, are you leaving money on the table by missing out on 475 tax deductions that's available? That's right. There's 475 tax deductions that you have access to. So keep these three questions in mind as we go through this webinar. So now, who am I? I'm Brother Bernard. I'm a chairman and CEO of Acres of Diamonds Financial Services. It's a company that specializes in the financial education, personal development, and entrepreneurship training for communities and families. As a financial educator and tax strategist, I've been able today, up to right now in this very moment, I've been able to effectively help over 500 families start their journey to financial freedom and start a business through one in several different areas. One, by giving jobs to those who are considered unemployable, ex-felons, ex-offenders. You know, we don't want to hire felons. Well, I've given jobs to countless numbers of felons and ex-offenders. I've given jobs to mothers who have to call out sick because of a sick child, but they still have a job to come back to, whereas in other places of employment, they done. We don't need your services. There's no compassion for what's going on back at the home. I've given jobs to those who didn't have transportation, and it took some time to get to work and get late. So I've removed all the barriers and obstacles to help employ either my personal family members, my friends, and those in my community, so that they can begin to start to build wealth and get themselves established financially. Also through tax minimization, like this webinar and this training I'm doing. I personally do this for all my staff, all my friends and family, those that would like my assistance in minimizing their taxes. Credit repair. Repairing your credit allows you to get a better interest rate on loans or anything else that you're trying to do financially, which helps minimize your debt. But I also do debt minimization training, investment education, as well as I assist you in building and starting your own business, which helps you to be self-sufficient. So with all of those areas added up, I've been able to help over 500 families. It is my belief that building wealth begins with personal financial success, and that begins with a belief in yourself and entrepreneurship. Overview of what we're going to discuss today. We're going to discuss Donald Trump's avoidance and showing his tax returns, tax evasion versus tax avoidance, diamond triangle tax offense, accounting, tax strategy of the wealthy, tax preparation, top 10 tax deductions for a tax strategy, and tips if you are audited. What to do if you get audited. 2016, there was the first presidential debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. At this debate, Hillary Clinton inquired about Donald Trump's avoidance in showing his tax returns. She said, so why he won't show them? Maybe he's not as rich as he say he is. Maybe he's not as charitable as he say he is. Or maybe it's because he owed $650 million to Wall Street and foreign banks. Or maybe he don't want the American people to know that he's paid zero in taxes. Zero for troops, zero for vets, zero for schools, zero for health. So now she's bringing out the fact that he paid zero for taxes. So what do Trump do? Trump says, he interrupts her and says, that makes me smart. Wait, what? That makes me smart. Why? I ain't denying not paying taxes. In fact, not paying taxes makes me smart because I take advantage of certain laws that are in place by our nation. And he told Hillary, you've been there a long time. Why don't you change them? Hillary not going to change them because her and Bill take advantage of those very same laws. They utilize those same laws that he utilized. She just tried to exploit what he was doing to make it seem like he was doing something illegal. But like you said, I'm running a company. My obligation is to do well for myself, my family, my employees, for my companies, and that's what I do. Now, did he break the law? Everybody was in an uproar. Everybody killed. He going to jail. He's illegal. He's breaking the law, yada, yada, yada. Well, listen, if this man got in front of the whole free world and said, not paying taxes makes me smart, and then he turns around and become the leader of the free world, that should let you know that he must have been doing something right because they didn't take him down for it yet, even though he's under the gun right now, but that's another story. Nevertheless, he knew something that we didn't know. And if he was in $650 million of debt, how did he become the president of the free world? You can't even get a job for the FBI or any governmental facility if you got bad credit. And $650 million of debt, sure enough, will give you bad credit. All right, so what is tax evasion? Did he commit tax evasion? Tax evasion is illegal non-payment or underpayment of taxes. Tax evasion is you make $100 million, but tell the IRS you only made $10 million. That's tax evasion. Tax evasion is the illegal non-payment or underpayment of taxes. So you made $100 million, but you said you made $10 million, so they taxed you only on $10 million. Which led to a underpayment and a underpayment on 10 million, but a non-payment on the other 90 million that you lied about. That's tax evasion. Now, what is tax avoidance? Tax avoidance is the arrangement of one's financial affairs to minimize tax liability within the law. The arrangement of one's financial affairs to minimize tax liability within the law. Tax avoidance is to use the tax codes and laws to your advantage to lower your taxable amount of income. So tax evasion is illegal, but tax avoidance is legal. It's just setting your money up in a way where it's not taxed, or putting it in a vehicle that helps you to avoid the IRS. So what did Trump say? We use certain laws. Tax avoidance is the arrangement of one's financial affairs to minimize tax liability within the law. So he used certain laws that were in place to minimize his tax liability. So he exercised tax avoidance, which is legal, and which is why he hasn't been put in jail. Now, let's see what Google said. Google always right. So I Googled tax evasion, and I put the exact definition that Google gave me. It says the illegal non-payment or underpayment of taxes. I Googled tax avoidance. Tax avoidance, the arrangement of one's financial affairs to minimize tax liability within the law. Now, for all those who do taxes, or you've paid somebody to do your taxes, or you had your uncle, your aunt, your cousin, your best friend, your spouse do your taxes, have you ever heard them mention tax avoidance? That's what you got to think about. Did they ever teach you or show you how to utilize the tax codes to your advantage for tax avoidance. Now, because I'm an entrepreneur, I groomed that in my child. The taxes is your biggest expense. Taxes is your biggest expense. And taxes is the #1 way the wealthy build wealth. So I had to figure out a way how to teach my daughter about taxes by her being a child. At 9 years old, I needed her to understand business and finances, and taxes are very important. So I came up with this system and how to show her what taxes is and how to build a good tax environment for yourself. So I came up with the triangle. I'm a Bulls fan from the triangle offense, so that's where I got this triangle thing from. Now, accounting. Accounting is the foundation of the tax system, in my opinion. In my opinion, accounting is the foundation. That's where your stuff starts, right there with accounting. 100% of the wealthy utilize an accountant or some type of accounting system or expense tracking software, because that's how they minimize their taxes, through their accounting system, where the regular taxpayers, only 15% of taxpayers utilize accounting, whereas 80% of Americans are overpaying the taxes according to the IRS. Now, the second part of it is tax strategy. 100% of the wealthy utilize tax strategies because they have to have tax shelters in different vehicles so they can maneuver their money, whereas only 3% of taxpayers utilize a tax strategy. And well, you know what? I got to change that, because a lot of people in the communities use a tax strategy. It's an illegal strategy. You don't call it a strategy. The #1 tax strategy in the hood is claim other people's children as yours. That's a strategy. It really is a strategy. It's an illegal strategy, but it's a strategy. Claiming other people's children as your own. Then the third phase of it is the tax preparation. Everybody have that part, because something is being submitted. That's all that means. Something is being put together and submitted. So this is the Diamond Triangle Tax Office. So when you think about your tax filing, you got to have all 3 of these components to get the most out of a tax service. So let's see what it looks like. You go your accounting as the base, your tax strategy, and your tax preparation. When you look at the triangle, this is what it looks like. That's the #1 part that we all have, the tax preparation. But do we have the accounting part? Do we have the tax strategy part? And that's what I'm going to cover today. Good tax preparation starts with accounting. Now, that's your foundation, your accounting. So this is called the Cash Flow Manager. This is an app that I use. $35 a month, only $419 a year. I paid more than that for QuickBooks. Now, these are 5 separate screenshots. The top screenshot is a screenshot of the main page. And then the second screenshot is the bottom of 12 months worth of income for this business. This is a test account. This is not my main account. This is a test account I put together for demonstration purposes. So let's just say 4 of my businesses, I entered income for each one of them. So this is the bottom portion of each one of those businesses to show you how the income added up at the end of the year. Now, this is what it would look like for the whole 12 months, like January, February, March, April, May. So the payments are going in. So now I'm tracking my income and I'm tracking my expenses. So as a business owner, you want to know what you got coming in and what you got going out. Even in your own home, you got to know what you got going in so you know what you got going out. Or if you don't know, if you're not on top of your financial situation, then your finances are going to be in the garbage can. So if you don't know what's coming in and what's going out, then you definitely are never going to be able to build wealth. So this is some of my expenses. It's home utilities. I paid $3,600 in utilities for that year. And this right here will show you what the home security look like, $2,100. Your advertising, business clothes, transportation, my miles. These are my miles being tracked. Wages paid to my children. All my children were on payroll. Now, this is just an example of what I paid my, my real children. They got $250 every 2 weeks because up to last year, you could pay each one of your children $6,000, $300 a year per child. And thanks to DT number 45, Donald Trump, he doubled that. So I make sure at least 25% of my income is paid to my children. Now, at the end of your balance sheet, right, you're going to have this. It has my total transportation miles and my business miles, and then it separates it by vehicle as I'm inputting it. So that's how much I'm going to write off on my taxes. And when you're looking at 17, if we did the math on that, 17,065 times 0.54, that's $9,000 right there that I'll be able to write off. 9,000 because I track those miles. Then here's my grand total of income. I made $100,000 for the year. I have $54,000 in expenses. Then when you add the $9,000 I'm gonna get from these miles right here, that's gonna give me $63,000 in expenses. And this was just a made-up account. But now you will print this form out and you would give this to your accountant or whoever does your taxes. And then they would do your taxes from this. Not from a shoebox of receipts, not from a Walmart bag of receipts, not from a folder of a bunch of receipts and this and that, because here's what happens. Receipts fade. And when those receipts fade, and if you get audited 3-4 years from now, you got to pay all that back. But here's the beauty of having software. Let me take you to the first page. Right here, you see this part that says receipt? When you enter this information, you can take a picture of the receipt from your phone or tablet and upload the picture, and the picture will be right here. And then you get to throw the receipt away, and the IRS will accept this with that picture right there. So now, good tax preparation starts with accounting. So now we just covered accounting. So we got that part covered. Now, here's what happens. Now, the triangle is 2/3 of the way full. Got your counting down packed. So now you know what's coming in, what's going out, and you're tracking your expenses properly. So now you can show the IRS what are you writing off and how much of what. So you ain't got to worry about tax evasion. You ain't got to worry about lying about making 100 million, but really but put down you made 10 million. This covers you. Next is the tax strategy to minimize your taxes legally. So tax strategies legally lower your taxes. Now, this is the app that I use. It's my expense tracking software. Number one, got to have the app or got to have some type of expense tracking software so that you can track all your deductions legally and get that balance sheet. There's no need of claiming a whole bunch of deductions if you don't have no paperwork and supporting documents for that. So, tax strategy, home-based business, IRS publication 587. Tax strategy, hiring your children, IRS publication 15. You can look them up. That's why I put the links right here, and I took a screenshot to show you what it looks, what the front page looks like. Now, this is my cash flow manager app. This is where I track all my expenses. I love it because I get to have multiple accounts for every one of my businesses. I'm a firm believer in having multiple streams of income, not multiple jobs. If you got 2-3 jobs, you don't got multiple streams of income. You have multiple jobs. Earned income is the same thing. A job is your earned income, the money that you work for. Now, what happens is business income is the money your business generates, right? Then you got investment income. That's the income you make from your investments. Then you got passive and residual income. That's the money you make from like an online business or a network marketing business. But that's another presentation. So I get to have all these accounts. Now, when I had QuickBooks, I had to pay about $300 per account. And I only paid $35 for this app that gives me all these accounts. So this was that test account I showed. This is my personal taxes. That's my cleaning business. And this is my my work from home call center, where myself or my staff, people that work in my business that I'm in partnership with, they work from home. So that gives them a home-based business. This is my roadside repair, windshield repair, my investment. Now, I get investments. When I get investments for myself, for my family, my children, or get into a property, I do it through my investment business. So it's not directly in my name, it's in the business name. Then I got my affiliate marketing business, which I do a lot of my my network marketing for my for my residual income, and my online stores for my passive income. Now I have my Acres of Diamonds financial service business, and one I just started, which is this one right here, Priceless Pieces by Pretty Princess. That's my daughter's jewelry business. I support entrepreneurship. All right, so here we go. IRS publication 587. Generally, you cannot deduct items related to your home, such as mortgage, interest, real estate, taxes, utilities, maintenance, rent depreciation, or property insurance as a business expense. However, you may be able to deduct expenses related to the business use of part of your home if you meet specific requirements. So what are those requirements? To qualify to deduct expenses for business use of your home, you must use part of your home exclusively and regularly as your principal place of business. Exclusively and regularly as a place where you meet or deal with patients, clients, or customers in the normal course of your trade or business. So how do we utilize this? Let's just say, for instance, you was a Jordan Nike tennis shoeologist. I don't even know if that's a real word. Guys, excuse me. I'm a product of the Baltimore City school educational system. But let's just go with it for now, right? You're a shoeologist. You study shoes, right? So you take an area of your house, a room in your house, and you utilize that to study shoes, right? So now you get to write off a portion of your mortgage or rent because you studying shoes in your house, in an area in your home. Now you got to use your electricity so you can look at the shoes. So that's your utilities. So you get to use your utilities for that. You get to write off a portion of your utilities, a portion of the water. Then you got to buy a computer. So you get to write that computer off. Then you also get to write off your internet, because you have to use your internet to write off your to look up your shoes. Next. Now, what it says, exclusively and regularly as your principal place of business. So you do this exclusively and regularly at your home. Next, you got to use your phone so you can call Ray down the street and tell him you just saw some new Nikes online. So now you get to write off your phone. Then you're going to get in your car, which you're going to be able to write off that as a business expense, the portion of the car payments and insurance and all of that stuff, because you got to drive your car to Foot Locker so you can go look at these shoes. Now you're going to write your gas off as well. Then when on your way there, you got to take a quick lunch, feed yourself, get something to eat. So you're going to write that off. And while you're there, you're going to look at these shoes. Then when you buy them, you get to write that off. Then you bring them back home to your house. You invite Ray over to come and sit in your living room and look at the shoes. So now you done use your home exclusively and regularly as a principal place of business because you looked them up at your home. Then you exclusively and regularly as a place where you meet or deal with patients. So Ray, not cousin Ray, but Ray came over to your living room, sat in your home, and looked at these new Jordans that you brought because you're a shoeologist, not because you're going to wear them, but eventually you can wear them and do whatever you want with them. But as a shoeologist, now you get to write all that stuff off as a business expense. Next, here's the best part. Family employees. You get to hire your children and pay them. And if they under the age of 18 who works for his or her parent in a trade or business, aren't subjected to Social Security or Medicaid taxes. So here's what happens. Your son or your daughter opens the door for customer Ray to come into your living room, your waiting area, and he sits down. Your other child signs him in, right? And then another child gets him some water so he can be comfortable. Then you have your oldest child taking out trash. Now, all your children are working in your home, your business. See, now they get paid for doing all of that. And it's just that simple. But because you got expense tracking software, you get to input how much you pay for your utilities. You input how much you're paying for your rent, your cell phone bill, your gas. Now you're tracking all those expenses. How much are you paying your children / employees to do what they just did? Because they helped your business. So now you just took all those regular expenses that you already have. You already got to take care of the children. So instead of buying them a bicycle, which you can't write off, just pay them the bicycle money for opening the door for customer Ray. Then write that off. So here are the top 10 tax deductions for a tax strategy. Guard dog. Write off the guard dog, aka your house dog. The cost of feeding, housing, and veterinary visits. You get to write that off for your guard dog. Now, what's the difference between a guard dog and a house dog? Hell if I know. Pardon my language, but it don't give no difference. It's just what you label it as. When you input the information into your expense tracking software, if you put it down as Poochie the house dog, then you can't write it off. But if you put it down as Apollo the guard dog, then you get to write that off as a business expense. Poochie is just for recreation, but Apollo is to protect the home. Now, do we got to have special training? Nope. Do we got to have a special vest that says K9 Patrol? Nope. Do we need to be big and strong? Nope. Do we need to be able to identify attackers? Nope. So what do we need to do? Nothing. But do what he already doing. Eating, living, pooping, and eating up your food. That's it. But it's all about what you label him as. Bank fees, overdraft fees, ATM fees. Now, did the person who do your taxes ever have you bring in bank fees, overdraft fees, ATM fees? Did they ever tell you bring that stuff in so they can write that off? Because you get to write off your bank fees. And whether you notice or not, if you got a bank account, you're paying for a bank account. Some bank accounts is up to about $10 an account now. And when you got as many bank accounts as I have, that can become costly, paying a monthly fee on every account. And then God forbid you get overdraft by 1 cent. Have you ever been overdraft by $1 and you had to pay that $36 fee for $1? Man, do you understand how much that add up to at the end of the year? They killing you just for $1. Well, guess what? You get to write that off and let Uncle Sam pick that bill up. ATM fees, the same thing. So the person that's doing your taxes, if you got a dog and they ain't tell you how to write your guard dog off, or they ain't telling you about these bank fees and overdraft fees, you leaving money on the table. You go get your money back. Bible study, Girl Scouts, doctor visits, all of those are charitable deductions. You get to write those miles off. When you go to Bible study or study groups or take your children to outing and sporting events and Girl Scouts and all that, those are tax deductible miles. Doctor visits, tax deductible miles. Child wages, $12,600 starting this year, thanks to number 45, DT. Meals, 50%. Vehicle expenses, internet, telephone, utilities. Now, here's the beauty about the telephone. You can write off 100% of your telephone as long as you got another phone that you can use for personal. So all my business phones, cell phones, all my phones are business phones. My personal phone is my Magic Jack. And when I bought the Magic Jack, I paid the whole price for 5-6 years, paid it up one time, wrote that off on my tax as a business expense. Then I downloaded the app to all my phones and tablets, and I made my Magic Jack my personal phone. So now my monthly recurring cell phone bill is my business phone, and I write that off 100% because I have another avenue for personal calls. If you don't have another avenue for personal calls, then you're going to have to only write off maybe 85% of your phone bill as business. There you go, your utilities, electricity, gas, water, heat, and fuel, and your rent and your mortgage. All of these deductions add up to help you lower your taxable amount of income. This is a tax strategy. So now, with the diamond triangle tax offense, when you think about that and you keep that in mind, you build in your taxes so you understand. I showed you how to do your accounting and why accounting is important. It's the foundation of it all. And I just showed you what a tax strategy looked like. It's utilizing IRS Publication 587, IRS Publication 15. Those are the two of the top IRS publications to utilize for a tax strategy. There's many more, but I'm just showing you just two major ones that's easy for you to implement. Then you got your tax preparation. So now once you got all three of these components working, you have a complete cipher. And this is how you take advantage of the tax laws and tax codes legally and benefit from it. Now, without diamond triangle tax offense, you will never have to worry about being on defense or losing an audit to the IRS. Why? Because you got accounting at the base, you're tracking all your expenses, you got your income in there, you got your expenses in there, and you got everything logged in so you are protected. Then you got a tax strategy that legally shows you how to lower your taxes, and you get the preparation done, and you're on point. Now, tips if you audit. An audit is the process in which the IRS determines if you have properly reported all income and took the correct deductions. See, all income, that's that you made 100 million, but said you made 10 million. See, that's what they looking at. It's okay, so did you report the proper income or did you lie about it, right? Then the correct deductions. So you can't write off your house dog. Remember, you can't write off Poochie, but you can, the house dog, but you can write off Apollo, the guard dog. So you got the proper deductions. All right. It is your responsibility to prove to the IRS that what you filed was indeed correct, and you must provide supporting documents for the majority of it. A quick fact is that the IRS actually wins 80% of all audits, mainly because the taxpayers cannot show proper supporting documents. So they losing because they don't have accounting. They're not showing proper supporting documents. So the main reason for the IRS assessing additional taxes is because of bad record keeping, not because of taxpayers trying to cheat the system. So because you don't have paperwork, you overpaying, you got to pay back to the IRS because receipts fade. So 5 years ago, you got a whole bunch of stuff wrote off. The person doing your tax, like, did you pay for this? Did you pay for that? They inputting in the system. So have you been sat on the phone or sat at a desk and they ask you all these questions and they just typing that stuff in, they getting you all these deductions, but you don't have no proof of it. You don't have no paperwork. See, so they didn't help you protect yourself. And less in taxes. Fight like hell to pay as little as possible for two reasons. And this is Donald Trump. I'm a businessman, and that's the way you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to fight like hell to pay as little as possible because I'm a businessman, and that's the way you're supposed to do it. You see that mindset? Now, how many people think like that? How many people think like, you know what? I'm going to fight like hell to reduce my tax liability because that's what I'm supposed to do because I'm a businessman or businesswoman or entrepreneur. Then he said he hates the way our government spends our taxes. You know, I hate the way they waste our money. Trillions and trillions of dollars wasted and abused. And I hate it. So take a look at this one last time. Take a look at this triangle and see if any portion of this is missing in your tax services. Is the people that's doing your taxes helping you get your accounting needs together? So now you have see, when they give you the tax return, right? after they put your stuff in the system, that's the tax preparation. See, that's not your accounting. That's not going to protect you, because that tax return is the stuff that they put on it. Now the IRS needs to know, where did the information come from that they put on that return? And then what tax strategy did they give you to use to lower your taxable amount of income? So for more information, to get the other reports, text one of the keywords or all keywords to 910-506-8504. So I don't know where you at in the videos. So this video 1, how to lower your taxes legally and survive an audit. So if this where you at right now, then text, if you got 2 jobs or you want a strategy about 2 jobs, text 2 jobs. If you're single and you want a strategy, text single. If you got a spouse and y'all live together, text together, or just text the word all, and we'll get you all 3 videos. So you'll have the whole 4-part video search. Or just get back to the person that shared this with you, if someone shared this with you, and go from there. But you can text 910-506-8504 to get the other videos and strategies. And if there's anything else that you need that's not covered in this video or the other videos, then all you need to do is just text us, and we'll get back with you as soon as possible. So final thoughts. I pray that you was able to get some value from this presentation to assist you on your journey for financial freedom. I believe that anything worth having can't be done alone. So one of my first goals was to learn my own weaknesses and build a team around me. I built a team of people around me that helped assist me and strengthen them. So if there's anything that we can do here at Acres of Diamonds Financial Service to assist you on your journey, please connect with us on our social media pages, or you have our phone number, 910-506-8504. You can email us at aod@acresofdiamonds.com, or visit our website, www.acresofdiamonds.com. And you can go to my personal website, www.personalsuccessstrategist.com. Tax codes aren't racist. Maybe some of the wealthy people who use them to their advantage are. But so what? Do the same. Use the codes to your advantage. Let's stop complaining about Donald Trump and what he's doing with his taxes. Let's stop complaining about the tax codes being set up for the wealthy. They're not set up for the wealthy. They set up for everybody to utilize them to their advantage. Let's stop complaining about the wealthy getting tax breaks and benefits. And let's focus on the tax breaks and benefits that we can get, so that we can begin to lower and minimize our taxable amount of income, which is our biggest expense, and begin to use the tax codes to our advantage to build wealth for our families. Once again, this Acres of Diamonds Financial Services. I'm Brother Bernard, business strategist and success coach. Wealth isn't built in a day, but it is built daily. So take control of your finances, 1 acre at a time. Thank you.